It is Tuesday night, and that means round number 10 of the County Road Custom Millwork Late Model Challenger Series tonight. The LaDuke-Matthews Racing 125. I'm Jeff By Jr., joined by Bill Tomer in the broadcast booth. And Bill, we saw a pretty wild race last night. It came down to a bumper between Alex McCollum and Thomas Axum at the finish line. Tonight, do you think we're going to see another crazy finish, wild finish like we saw last night?
Well, these guys definitely have the ability to put that kind of race on, and we'll see how it goes as the night kind of goes. As we go through the paces here, Jeff, we have a pretty big night scheduled as we look like we're going to have dual B mains tonight, big field on the racetrack, and yeah, I think we're going to have some exciting racing when it comes to A main.
Yeah, we're looking at about 29 cars now. Angel Ortega just coming into the server here last minute. Still about 3 minutes left of practice. But Ethan Johnson, our points leader, fastest so far in practice, 15.070 for Ethan Johnson. And he's currently working on some qualifying trim. I see him out there trying to lay down a hot lap. And he's definitely going to be going for those 5 bonus points later on tonight for the Christian iRacers Quick Time Award. Luke Baldwin, second fastest. Blaze Brinkley, a guy we haven't really seen much of, only his third start this season. He's third fast. Ryan Dunkelberger up there, and Felix Gratton, another newcomer, Canadian driver, sitting fifth fastest on the board right now.
Well, Ryan Dunkelberger's really picked up some time in that 18 machine. We've seen him for a few seasons here, and just like, I would say, like in the last 2 months, that 18 car's been really quick. We've seen him running in the top 5 in multiple nights. I'm not sure he's really had the finishes as there's been issues in that 18 machine, but I got to give him a shout out as he's really picked up the pace.
Yeah, he has 5 starts with us, and all 5 are top 10s. So he's been very strong, very consistent. If he had been running the whole season, he'd be a lot higher up in the points at this point. Missed a lot of races this year, but looking really good. Maybe if he comes back for next season, he'd be a championship contender in that 18.
Definitely. We got a lot of familiar names up in the top 10. You talked about the guys in the top 5. Most of them have been here most of the season. Ethan Johnson, Luke Baldwin, Felix Gratton, kind of a newcomer. Dunkelberger, just 5 starts. Brinkley, fairly newcomer to the series. And then you've got a bunch of regulars. Jonathan Stanford, Rick Rube, Del Mears, Jordan Harnish. And another newcomer, John Philippe Bergeron. He's only been here 1 race prior to that. And it's going to be a fun night, Jeff. We're going to see who shakes forward. And I can tell you what the invert is. It's going to be 8. So watch for the 8th fastest car going to start on the pole tonight in the main event. We'll see how that shakes out as we move forward.
Yeah, it is a big invert in this tiny little racetrack, and we saw how difficult it was to pass last night. And so these guys are going to have to really use some give and take. We had quite a bit of yellows last night. Still great racing, just a lot of fighting for the bottom and a lot of stack ups. So once something happened in middle of the field, it really affected the guys at the rear of the field. We saw a lot of big accordion effects throughout the field that really kind of stacked everything up.
Yeah, the restarts seem to be difficult here at the Langley Speedway. As flat as this place is, and as hard as it is to hook the rear tires up coming off the corners and through the corners as you're getting on the gas. We saw, like you said, Jeff, guys getting loose, guys spinning the tires, causing stack-ups behind them, a lot of wrecks right on initial restarts. Wasn't that horrible. We still had some good racing as the night went on, and we actually shrunk the field a little bit from last night. Last night we started 26 cars. Tonight in the Late Model Challenger Series, we're going to start 24. So we'll have an even smaller group of cars. Try to get this program moving and get some racing that we enjoy.
Remember, if you're with us on Facebook, like and share the stream. It helps us out. We appreciate it. Let your friends know there's some racing tonight, especially if you're racing in this. Get your friends, get your family out here. Get them watching the stream tonight. Greg Boyer in the chat. He's cheering for the 9 car. That's Stephen Hassett. Said he's getting a little better every week. And yeah, Stephen finally cracked the top 20 in points. He's having some good runs lately. So Stephen up there in the top 20 and looking to move forward.
I believe Steven is part of that Academy Racing team, Jeff, that we talked about last night with Landon Huffman, Jordan Harnish. I believe Brett Suggs is on that team, so that's a good group, a good fast group. Steven clearly taking some pointers from those guys and making some improvements in that number 9 car.
So that is the end of practice. So we're going to head into qualifying, and these guys are going to have 3 minutes to lay down 2 laps here in qualifying. And again, 5 bonus points on the line for quick time. That could be really important in this championship race. It's just an 8-point gap from Ethan Johnson to LP Lazier, and just a 10-point gap back to the 4th spot of Jordan Harnish between Ethan Johnson. So, I mean, there's 4 guys that have a legitimate chance at winning this championship, and maybe two guys like Luke Baldwin and Dale Mears further back that, you know, really have a chance if things go their way. I mean, they're only 37 points out at this point.
So we got Luke Baldwin on the racetrack as we are going to watch guys make their qualifying efforts, and we will try to keep you apprised of what times end up on the board. These guys just getting finished with their laps.
Jonathan Sanford, actually Luke Baldwin, sorry, had the times listed the wrong way. Felix Gratton was fastest so far, 15.123. Now Ryan Dunkelberger to the top, 15.102. Better than his practice time. That's pretty good lap there, 15.102 for Dunkelberger.
First, the Arthur on your screen. Felix Gratton slotted into second. Ethan Johnson was quick in practice, not quick in qualifying. He'll roll off. He'll be third in qualifying. It's at 15.128. Jordan Harnish fourth. LP Lazier in fifth at the moment. Still more cars out on the racetrack making times. Jeff Rivard just put in a time 15.247.
Ian Martin heading out on the track. This is a guy who's needs some bonus points. He's been pretty open about the fact he can't qualify very well, and then he ends up in the top 5 almost every single week, starting deep. And now he's trying to work his way forward. Will Dravicki on the track. We haven't seen Will in a couple weeks. He's had some bad luck this season. Guy who finished, I believe, 3rd in points last season in this Tuesday night series. This has not been his year. He has struggled, had a lot of bad luck all season long. Yeah,
Will was a winner in the series last season as well. Just hasn't had the kind of season he wants in that 30 machine as he is out on the track. He puts it at 15.235. Just about a minute left here in qualifying. Most of the cars have put in a time. Will trying to go a little bit faster than his first lap and doesn't. Really consistent, 15.235, 15.240.
Del Mears on the track. He was a guy who was really quick in practice. He was up there in that top 10. We're watching to see what Del does here and get a lap in here as the time's starting to wind down.
And Dell just has barely enough time to make both laps, but it seems that we are watching these cars make their fastest lap on lap 1. So really you're just, unless you really screw up on lap 1, lap 2 is kind of a throwaway. You try to make it a little bit faster, but it seems like lap 1's the money lap for these drivers.
Yeah, Dell back out on the racetrack trying to make an attempt there. Didn't like his first run at it, so he actually parked the car and going to start over for a second lap and try to get a fresh run at a second lap, and we'll see what happens for Dell.
Dell slots in P12, 15.210, just in front of Luke Baldwin and right behind Ian Martin, and that is the end of qualifying. And we talked about him in practice, Jeff. Ryan Dunkelberger, your quick qualifying on the night. That will give him the Christian iRacers quick time, 5 bonus points and $5 at the end of the season for the 18 machine. So Ryan Dunkelberger definitely picks up the pace, like I said, in practice, and has a great qualifying effort, and will be your Christian iRacers Quick Time Award winner on the evening.
John wanted to know if this league is accepting drivers. He's looking to get involved in SLM racing, and yes, we are. And that starts right here on Tuesday night. So you got to start in our Tuesday night Challenger Series, earn your way into our Monday night, our premier late model shootout series. So if you want to get started, you can message us on Facebook, and we'll let you know how you can get involved. It's just a $5 entry fee for the season. We only got 2 races left, but we're looking at next season coming up pretty quick. So after the Christmas break, but Bill, we're going into B main number 1. We're taking 4 cars out of this B main onto the feature event. On the pole, the 72, that is Jeff Rivard. On the outside of him, another one of those Academy drivers, the 12 of Angel Ortega.
Starting on the inside of row number 2 in the 17 machine, that is AJ Rogers, and 2 is outside. We just talked about him a moment ago. New paint scheme on the car tonight. That's the 9 of Stephen Hassett.
In the 56, this is a guy who's been in a lot of B mains, hasn't made it to a feature yet. He's trying to make his first one this season right here at Langley. That's the 56 of Joshua Ingram. On the outside of him, the last starter in this B main, starting 6th, the 27 of Jason Keyser.
Not able to make the call in qualifying or this race. Matt Nicholson in the 10, so it looks like Matt might be done for the evening. 6 cars, 25 laps. No caution flags do not count. We'll be taking top 4.
There's some fast cars here in this B main. Jeff Rivard, AJ Rogers. Those are 2 guys that have been near the top 10 pretty much every week, and those guys find themselves in a B main. Stephen Hassett there as well in that final transfer spot to start this race. We'll be watching that fourth and final transfer position as the pace car heads off the racetrack. Jeff Rivard going to take us green flag racing.
Wow, Angel Ortega on the outside gets a great start in the number 12 machine. You see him get a fight on the outside entering turn 1, but turn in the high side is not where you want to be. Here comes Stephen Hassett in the 9. Ortega back to 3rd.
Yeah, Ortega slots back in line in front of Hassett, so he's safe for the time being. And Stephen Hassett in that fourth and final transfer position, but he's got Joshua Ingram and Jason Keyser hot on his tail right now as we work lap 2.
Jeff Rivard out front, AJ Rogers in second, just trying to get that car underneath him at the moment. You see Angel Ortega there in the 12. He'll be running 3rd. Stephen Hassett in the final transfer position, and Josh Ingram just hanging on right behind Stephen Hassett. Jason Keyser in the 27. Keyser did make a start in an A main at Richmond this season, so Keyser trying to get into his second A main this season. Right now, 2 spots out. He's on the outside looking in.
Yeah, the competition very tough here in this Challenger Series. We see a lot of guys win one week and then they're in the B main the next, and it's kind of crazy how competitive this class and this series actually is here at ITZR. But Jeff Rivard out front, looking strong in the 72, leading this B main.
If you've not driven the super late model before, our producer Eric Myers swears that it is the best oval car on iRacing, one of the most difficult to drive, but one of the most rewarding as well. And these guys getting around the racetrack, they make it look easy. It's not easy in this race car. As Stephen Hassett sideways on the backstretch, going to be the grass entering turn 3. He might collect, no, but we get a yellow as he almost collected the cars of Josh Ingram. And Jason Keyser doesn't, no damage done. We're going to go yellow flag as Hassett having issues off of turn 2.
Yeah, Hassett looks like he just kind of got on the brakes. Maybe he got loose coming off of turn 2 and just never was able to catch that car down the back straightaway. He was basically sideways all the way down the back straightaway into turn 3. That car goes around, and caution's going to wave here on lap 6.
So race control going to give Stephen Hassett the EOL penalty. Sort of an unnecessary, redundant penalty, but we do that for record-keeping purposes, as Hassett was the cause of that yellow.
We actually going to take some pace laps out here, too. They're going to get the one to go right here, go double file. We're going to try to get them back to green flag racing as soon as possible. Nobody needed to come down pit road, so we're going to go back to green flag racing right away here. Jeff Rivard on the front row with AJ Rogers.